Shabbat, ladies, and welcome to Jewish Women Unite. I'm so happy you're tuning in. I hope you're tuning in. This week, we've been discussing the Malchut of David HaMelech and his greatness. In part 3, we left off where David's brothers often drove him away and they held him in contempt, but that David always returned their hatred with love because he knew that in their eyes, they were treating him with disdain, l'shem shamayim, if there's such a thing as that. But do you know what kind of spiritual level you have to be on in order to come to this understanding? And things didn't get any better for David HaMelech, because when neighbors and the general public saw how David's brothers were keeping him at a distance, they all thought the following. They thought, there must be a good reason why these tzaddikim, the sons of Yishai, are staying away from their brother David. There must be something evil about this boy. And because no one knew the real reason why David's family was keeping him at a distance, they began to imagine all kinds of things about him that obviously were not true. They threw all kinds of accusations his way, and nobody came forward to defend him or to deny those accusations. There was nobody who hesitated to wound this boy's heart or his pride. They all thought that by humiliating David, by ridiculing him, they're actually honoring Yishai. All of this pain and anguish caused David HaMelech to run away to the Midbar, to the desert. In the desert, no one saw him or knew him. And it was there that he began to develop an intense closeness to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. After all, in the desert, there's no one around to distract you from your Avodat Hashem. People get so bogged down with what others are doing, what others are going to say, or how others are going to look at them, that being in the public eye is always a distraction when it concerns elevating yourself spiritually. People's opinion of you often gets in the way of your spiritual elevation, of your growth. So David spent the majority of his days in the Midbar, away from people, away from Lashon Hara, and away from the humiliation. He sat there tending the sheep, undistracted, and he was able to devote his body and neshama only to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hashem became his father, his mother, and his brothers. All the worldly pleasures that people occupy themselves with became meaningless in the eyes of David. And it was there in the Midbar that he composed many of his prakim of Tehillim. It was there that he sang the words, Tov li ki uneti leman elmad chukecha. Hashem, it was good that I was afflicted with nisyonot, because only in this way can I be able to truly learn your statutes. This is Malchut, ladies. Somehow, David HaMelech found happiness in the suffering that others caused him, because he knew that without the pain that he endured, he would never have been able to achieve such an immense closeness to the Ribono Shel Olam. David saw beauty in the Midbar. He saw beauty in an empty desert. In a place where people thirst for water. In a place where rain doesn't fall. In a place where nothing of real value can be produced. In this place of total barrenness and loneliness, David found comfort and happiness. And we're told that the vast skies and the clouds above him, every grain of sand in the desert, all the thorns and all the thistles, every creature in that Midbar joined David HaMelech in songs of praise to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. They were able to relate to David because the desert knows what it feels like to be alone. There in the desert, there was no other voice that could be heard other than the voice of song echoing from David and from the elements in the Midbar. How sweet is the thirst one experiences in the desert where that thirst suddenly becomes transformed into the thirst of Hashem's closeness. How sweet is it? At night, the wilderness is dark and cold, but David felt such immense joy in that darkness and cold because it was there that HaKadosh Baruch Hu revealed himself to him, and the night suddenly became like day for him. Whenever David came back for a short visit from the desert, you know what would happen? People made fun of him because he hadn't eaten well in the desert. He didn't engage in any bodily pleasures. He wasn't clothed in the most beautiful garments. His clothing was tattered. He was extremely skinny, and his face was burned from the desert sun. How could anyone look at him and see beauty? Ladies, why was David subject to so much pain and so much humiliation? You know why? Chachamim tell us because the time had not yet come for his true character to be revealed. David had not yet suffered the full measure of affliction which he had to bear on behalf of the entire world. The same world he would one day be destined to lead. Do you hear the depths of what I'm telling you? Until the time came for David's greatness to be revealed, he was prepared to happily accept every nisayon and all that anguish, and he never asked HaKadosh Baruch Hu to spare him from all that pain. He saw everything that was happening in his life as being for the good, and he didn't look for any other good because he had so much emunah and so much bitachon in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And then Shmuel HaNavi anoints David in front of his father and brothers, and it's then that the veil of uncertainty is lifted and Yishai realizes everything that had happened from the time David was conceived until that very moment when he was chosen to be king of Israel. Yishai realized all the efforts that David and his mother made in order to hide their righteousness from everybody. Yishai realized how they were silent all these years and allowed for HaKadosh Baruch Hu's master plan to unfold. And that realization made David and his mother all the more precious in Yishai's eyes. It was then that he understood everything. That veil had been lifted. And for the first time in 29 years, Yishai called David his son. Ladies, Chachamim explained that this silence on David and his mother's part all these years is the way of tzaddikim. This is the way one acquires Malchut. When divine secrets are revealed to tzaddikim, they don't share them with others. Instead, they just wait for Kadosh Baruch Hu to make the matter known to everyone. Everyone who was there on that day that Shmuel anointed David understood that everything that happened was the Ratzon of Hashem. David HaMelech's mother chants those famous words in Sefer Tehillim, Me'et Hashem Haita Azot. This entire episode from the beginning was orchestrated by the Ribono Shel Olam. Hi niflat be'enenu. Such matters are wondrous in our eyes. Even Ma'asu Habonim. That stone that the builders rejected, Hayata Lerosh Pina, became the cornerstone of the entire foundation. We're going to stop here, and I'm going to hope, Bezat Hashem, that you're going to tune in tomorrow for part 5 of our Malchut series. Have a wonderful day with tremendous Siyata Dishmaya.